hemorrhage. Echikurukuto, we call it in Uganda. This hemorrhage must stop. The crisis you see in these countries is because of stagnation of the last 60 years since independence. The population is increasing, the economies are not increasing. What do you expect? So with these few words, Your Excellencies, what do I say? Merci beaucoup.
Greetings, families. I hope you are well. This is another reaction on the Africa Heads of State Summit in Nairobi. I listened to, tons of videos, speeches about all the Africa Heads of State. Even our president, Nana Akufo-Addo, was there, and Kenya president, as usual, is the host. But our grandpa's speech is the one that I want to react on. Mr. President Museveni on, because we all know that he has a lot of wisdom. One, due to his age, two, due to his education and knowledge about what is going on in the world. So, like I always do, when there is something that we all need to learn from it, I bring it. Please let's listen to short video and I'll be back. Thank you so much for your time.
Philosophical, ideological, strategic, economic mistakes, which we have been talking about since the 1960s. This is not an accident. When you see the crisis in many of the African countries, the collapse of states, we predicted this in the 1960s. Philosophical, ideological, strategic mistakes. I don't have time to amplify each one. But I was very happy to hear the president of the World Bank talking about prosperity instead of profiteering. These were his own words. That's what I picked. This has been the problem.
First of all, he said Africa does not need sustainable, because if a woman is pregnant, the woman must give birth and the child needs to grow to become a teenager, then adult. But they keep changing these words. As PLO Lumumba will say that when they change this and this doesn't fit, then they will bring another one and you will not understand it. Our grandpa is saying that they should change the word, because sustainable has been there since, he said, 60-something years, and nothing is changing. That pregnancy never give birth.
I have seen those words there. Sustainable development. I am now going to be 80 years old. I have never seen sustainable pregnancy. That a woman is pregnant this year, the pregnancy continues next year, 3 years, 4 years, it never happens. In life, pregnancy develops sustainably within the womb of the woman. Quantitatively, the baby is growing bigger and bigger. But at some stage, quantitative growth must be transformed into qualitative change. The pregnancy must become a baby.
And there's no baby. So what's the point of sustainable? Africa needs development. They should change it to development, investment, not sustainable. He went on to say that Africans produce what they cannot eat and import what they eat. because we are being programmed to do that. It's a deliberate attempt to do that. And it is true. I mean, I'm amazed when I'm in Ghana, amount of food that is on the market. And I'm looking at cassava. Now there are factories processing this cassava, the starch, everything about cassava is going out. Only few is left for us to eat, and that's why it's expensive.
39% that are still out. You imagine those are still there, just eating, no money. So therefore, this meeting is, then you get your neo-colonial civil servants. They talk of import support. Imagine there is money for import support. Import support. The governor writes to me, reports, we have got import cover for so many months. But I don't want to import, I want to export. Why don't you tell me about import substitution and export promotion? Instead you are telling me of import support. So money is available for to become more dependent.
He gave all that example that many countries are enjoying the fruit of our natural resources. And that is why he is not, since 2012 or 13, it's not exporting raw materials anymore. If you want it, come to my country. Yes, I watched a summit a year ago or so when he was telling investors that they should come to his country and open a factory, that even Toyota came some time ago. He asked them to open a factory and they refused and they left. You know, now in Uganda they produce cars. Yes, they produce cars in Uganda. So he said, no, I'm not going to sell my resources, my natural resources cheap. You take it, your people get work to do on that raw materials, and also you sell it more. No, I'm not going to do that. You process it here so the people will get a job, and then you can take it back. By processing it, you pay for light bill, you pay for internet, you pay for a lot of things. Please, my people, let's listen to him more, because we will learn from him more than me. Thank you.
To sustainable development. What are you talking about? Private sector-led growth. Maneno tu. Electricity, we must have low-cost electricity, not exceeding 5 cents per kilowatt hour. That's what I insist on in Uganda. I'm tired of all these stories. These neo-colonial civil servants who have been holding us back, I have put my foot down, say I don't want to hear those stories. And Uganda is developing, and it will develop, because I don't entertain that nonsense anymore. Borrowing for what? Capacity building. Imagine seminars. They call you in a hotel, you eat chapati, you eat mandazi. They say that is capacity building.
Please, you need to listen to it. The way why I'm laughing. He said they call them in some seminars, they give them chapati, and then they give them sustainable whatever. I mean, you need to listen to about the reason. There was another point that he made, that he needed money to do railway, because when you have railway transport, the goods become cheaper. They transport things from villages to the city and throughout the country and even international. But when he asked for money to build railway, they didn't give him. But they want to give him money for another thing that will not help the country, and it is all planned. But he said they came to him and he refused them. Let's listen to him and I'll be back. Thank you so much.
Agriculture, linked with industry. Oh, now the digital. Are you eating computers? Have I seen anybody eating computers? Just running up and down, maneno tu. So I was insisting that all these Ugandans must be in the money economy. 2013, not long ago, 68% of Ugandans were outside the money economy because Uganda is a very rich country. A fool can survive there. In other countries, fools die. But in Uganda, fools can thrive there. They just eat. He stays with his brothers. He eats. He goes from there to the sister. He eats. He's not earning anything, but he's eating. So we said, no, everybody must be involved in the money economy. We couldn't get any support for that.
He was saying that things that will help Africa, no, they don't have funding for that. Things that does not help Africa is what they have funding for, especially the railway, as he mentioned, and a lot of things they ask him to go to commercial bank. Commercial banks borrow money, they borrow money for traders, not government. So why will he go to commercial bank? He said irrigation system will also help agriculture, but no, they won't give money for that, but they will rather give money to other things. I mean, all he was saying that all these things are planned to keep Africa poor. Mr. Roto said some other things in his speech, and I was like, if you are going to borrow money in a bank, are you the person giving the condition, or is the banker that will give you condition on the loan? Sometimes we waste time going to this summit, sit down. I bet that money that cost to organize that, I know it was given by the World Bank anyway. But what about those who travel there? I hope they pay for them. This traveling, to me, it disturbs me. I travel a lot, but then nobody pay for me. But this government looking at their citizens, what they are going through, but then 1 minute they call them here, another minute this summit is about to con them and give them loan again. World Bank, IMF, big companies, they are all there ready with their papers and pen. They don't have time to even go through them. They just sign and go. And then 1 minute they come to your country, individual countries, they work on them one by one for them to fulfill what they sign. He's saying that, please, stop it.
Of the discussions that will happen in this meeting and your personal commitment to this continent, which we appreciate. IDA stands out for its rapid and decisive action during crisis, distinguishing itself from other funding sources. Its demand-driven programs, combined with concessional loans of 40 to 50 years, empower borrowing nations to pursue sustainable long-term development strategies. And this is what we have been asking for. Long-term, concessionary. We now want to discuss in this meeting scale. That is the only aspect that is missing in this configuration. And as IJ Banker said, two things are missing: scale and design.
Jobs for them. He also, at the end, he said, you are not going to come to my country and take any resources away. I promise my people over my dead body before you can get that chance. You are not coming. So he's telling all of them, the investors there and the World Bank people there, don't come. You can get other people, but not me. What I've learned from this is Africa, if we come together, all this, they might call it small. To me, it's big money. The gold, the diamond, the steel, and all that, the petrol, the crude oil. If they put all of them together and they can borrow for themselves, as some of our Africans in the diaspora do, they put money together, maybe 10 people, 5 people, put money together monthly, And at the end of the month, one person will take the money in bulk. And then they keep doing that continuously. If it is 5 people, 5 months is end. 10 people, 10 months. Everyone got the bulk of money that they can use to do something tangible. If African leaders can put their heads together and be doing that, because this circle of loan that they keep calling them and or they begging them to give them is useless. Mr. Roto was saying that they should give them like 50 years and the interest must be low so they can be able to use it to create a job for the youth. Over how many years since Africa has been depending on these loans? It's not working. It's because it's planned not to work. If I'm giving you loan and I've reduced the price and you can be able to pay and earn interest, within few years you will not come for me for loan anymore. They know that. So they are not going to work it that way. So our grandpa is saying that stop that nonsense. He said, I don't deal with nonsense anymore because this sustainability is not working. Where in this world that a woman can be pregnant but cannot give birth, or a woman will give birth but the child will not grow, and this is what is going on.
The global value of coffee is $460 billion. All the coffee producing countries of the world, Brazil, us, all these, we only get 25 billion of that. Out of the 460 billion, the coffee producing countries get 25 billion. And Africa gets only 2.5 billion. A country like Germany, which has no coffee, earns $65 billion from coffee. The shirt I'm putting on is Ugandan cotton. I don't put on foreign clothes. Africa needs socio-economic transformation.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. If this is your first time, my name is Manri. Please like the video, consider subscribing if you like what I'm doing here, and stay blessed. I will see you soon. Bye bye.